On this week of Wild Generation, we are comparing my grandfather's Smith Wesson Model 41 to Carl's
brand new Ruger Mark IV.
And if you're interested in content like this, we are going through all of my guns from smallest to largest caliber, reviewing them. Sometimes we'll do a versus, kind of like what we're doing today, but you find us on our first 22s. We already did the 17 HMR, so if you're interested, go back and check out that video. We have two guns that shoot the same caliber. We shot the same bullets, which were CCI Mini Mag 22 LRs. All right, what do you want to do first?
Shoot stuff?
All right, sounds good. I'm going to shoot this.
Do you want to do a timer, or do you want to shoot against each other?
Sure, let's do timer. I missed the big one. 5.44. Let's start with a couple, like, just simple things first. All right,
the basics.
Let's start with the grip. So my grip has a large thumb rest on it, right? And it actually has this lower rest, and I'm actually not sure if, because my grandfather did a lot of like milling and stuff. My hand, maybe because we have the same DNA, fits perfectly on this gun.
The way it's notched and everything, these screws are in here that you can loosen it and slide it up and down to really fit whoever's hand size it is.
It is not ambidextrous at all.
No.
You have to shoot this right-handed. And I know in the last video I said that, or Carl said that I shoot lefty. That is true. However, I only do it because I'm so left-eye dominant. Right. So with handguns, I just take the gun like this and move it over to my left eye. It works out well, because if I was truly left-handed, I would not be able to shoot this gun.
Yeah, no, because these guns are bullseye guns.
Right. Okay. Somebody tell him he's wrong in the comments, please.
Yeah.
That's not a bullseye gun. Blah, 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 blah.
It's also a hunting gun.
It could be. You could use this for shooting a squirrel. It's pretty darn accurate. One of the things I really like about this grip is it's at a 105-degree angle, which means that it's actually the same setup as 1911.
Yeah, your GI 1911.
Right, and that's actually why they made these, is after the war, right? They were like, all right, like, we got all these vets coming home. Let's make something that feels like a 1911, but fires for competition for a 22. There
was a ton of research that Smith & Wesson did before coming out with this.
It took them 10 years to come out with it. They did 10 years of testing.
They just made a phenomenal gun, and it really shows.
So what do you have, Carl?
So I have the Ruger Mark IV, fourth iteration of their Mark series. The Mark I came out around the same time as the Smith & Wesson 41. The immediate difference that you see on the feel is the grip angle. This grip angle is the Luger-style grip angle. When Ruger came back from essentially World War II, felt the German Luger and said, well, I can make that, and did.
German engineering.
I mean, the grip angle is, especially if you're used to a 1911, this grip angle is annoying. The second thing that I think we're going to get to, I don't know if you want to get to now.
Go for it.
Is the trigger. The biggest problem with the trigger immediately right out the gate is its take-up and how long it takes to actually release. The action takes forever to actually drop the hammer.
It has a lot of travel.
On top of that, a significant amount of take-up, which is just a little ridiculous. It's almost... no. It's almost like they split the difference.
Right.
And said, okay, we'll just put it right in the middle, so half take-up, half travel, call it a day. But if I was to upgrade any of my gun's triggers, it would definitely be this one.
I would agree with that sentiment.
Right. Especially after your trigger.
It's amazing.
Right?
You just... like, put your finger on it, you start to squeeze a little, and it just clicks, and that's it.
Yep.
It is an amazing trigger.
It is gorgeous. Yeah, there's no comparison between the two.
Yeah, I have no complaints about that. So, we took this to the range. So you had one at 993. The others were between 1040 and 1080.
Yours were actually about the same.
That literally says 1080 on it.
Other than the time you tried to shoot it.
But I didn't shoot it, Carl.
I'm glad you didn't shoot it either, except that on camera we definitely have it rocking. We did.
and we looked at just general accuracy. Remember, this is modern.
Yep.
Right?
Practically brand new.
Practically brand new, and it has a red dot on it. I think the other thing to keep in mind is that you do competition shooting. I am not big into handguns.
He's making excuses because I am awesome and my gun's awesome. So, just saying.
I think that I shot just fine. For the most part. I get, okay,
you did.
Listen,
you
semi-automatics
well.
are a problem for me, okay?
Yeah.
Same thing with the 17 HMR. I shoot a couple, I'm hitting a good group, I'm like, I can get lazy now. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
And then it just falls apart. but I will say, like, first 3 shots on the target were bullseyes.
Yeah.
No,
you did very well. That gun shot remarkably well.
Yeah.
I think they're both generally equally accurate. I think in the test that we did, that this one probably shot a little bit better. I truly believe that the Model 41, if it had a red dot, or if I took the red dot off of this one, that one, I 100% believe you can shoot better as it is right now.
Right. I'm just not that good of a shot with a handgun.
Right. Well, just
full transparency.
Well, I mean, obviously.
Obviously. Anyway. Magazines.
Magazines.
All right. My magazine goes in like this, and you have to push it in with your finger. Fortunately, when you push the button, it just falls right out. And you got to get around this right here to get to it. Now, if you have a second hand on there, you can go like this, right? And you can eject with this hand. However, my magazine fell out. My magazine fell out. It doesn't go without the magazine in. So loading this magazine is not terribly difficult. I will say,
I like that magazine.
So I like it too.
One thing I like about it specifically over the Ruger is the fact that you actually have a button on both sides.
The slide release on mine, you just pull it down. However, it rocks. So when you try to pull it down, it doesn't go down, and then you got to push down in the front.
Yeah.
So it's not that great of a slide release. I think it's just because it's old. And then the safety, you have to push this up and it clicks into place and it just stops everything, right? Yeah. So you can't, it locks everything down. And then getting it back out is a little bit of a, like you do have to be pretty intentional about getting it up.
Right. And down.
Getting it down.
For this one, the safety is ambidextrous by default. It is on both sides. Only one side has the red is dead. If it doesn't fit your grip well, if you need to swap your grips and it doesn't allow for ambidextrous, you can definitely take one of these off. Your slide lock, though, is not ambidextrous. It is single-sided. That leads to the next part that we're going to get to here in a minute, is the takedown.
Yep. So why don't you show your takedown first? This is crazy easy.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Take it down.
It is now taken apart.
That's ridiculous. So for mine, you got to open the slide, then you pull down on the trigger guard, and then this comes off. You can take off the rest. Let's talk about this.
You'll notice that mine looks a little shinier. That's because I did a lot of work to this to try and make it actually function. Very disappointed in that. Mine continuously jammed no matter what ammo I was using. This is the Valkorksen bolt. I just bought straight stock. This one also started to jam on me more recently. I did grease it up at that point and it's functioned fine again. So it goes back together real easy, real quick. So you just put your bolt back in your gun, rock it back.
That's crazy. So to put this back together, you put the spring in, take this, slide it into the slot where the spring goes in there. There's a little hole for it. And then, making this look very professional, slide is back, this pops in like this, trigger guard comes up, snaps into place, but it doesn't always go that easy.
On the first take, mind you.
Totally the first take on that. All right, cost.
Cost.
How much was yours, Carl?
Including everything you see here. Mine was $700.
And that includes the upgrade for your action.
Yep, that includes everything you see here. So that includes the Valkorksen bolt. This is a very inexpensive red dot made by Dagger Defense. And of course the Picatinny rail mount also doesn't come standard with this, but there are mounting holes for it. The stock gun, just the gun itself, you were looking at about between $500 and $600.
I'm never going to sell this gun.
No, you should never sell that.
I don't actually know the value of this, right? No. Brand new, they are about $1,500 MSRP, right? So twice the price of what you've already completely put into even upgrading that.
Right.
I did try to actually look up how much this cost back in 1959, just because I was curious. It was probably like $50 or $35 or something. You know, it was a long time ago. Money was a lot different back then. But I know that today collectors look for something like this, and they can run pretty pricey, especially if they're in good condition. Yeah. Which I think this one is in pretty good condition. So,
it is.
If you have any idea what you think this actually costs, let me know in the comments. But I'm not going to sell it, so it doesn't really matter. I think at the end of the day, if you're into classical, like old cool guns, this is the gun for you. If you want to tinker and be modern and have all kind of upgrades that you can do to it, this is the gun for you.
Or if you really like taking it down
with
a single button.
Yes. No. If you are not mechanically inclined, that's the gun for you. Thank you for watching this episode of Wild Generation. We're going to be reviewing the rest of my guns. We're going to stay in 22s for a little bit longer. So if you like that kind of content, please subscribe. And if you haven't watched our 17 HMR video, go back and watch that next. Have a great day.